great there. And so right now, I'm just posting it to the public, so different people will be joining in. And they might have questions, so feel free to answer them. And we're just streaming on the web right now, so our newscast hasn't started, just so you know. So how old is your granddaughter?
How old are you, Kayla? Are you 10?
10 years old.
10 years old. So of course you play basketball, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Great. I'm just setting up some computers here in the studio. Hey, that's pretty good. So what's the secret to doing that, besides having short nails?
Short nails and tough fingers and a lot of practice.
A lot of wrist action.
Yeah.
A lot of wrist.
So who is the older and the younger sister?
I'm the oldest.
Linda's the oldest.
So you followed in your big sister's footsteps. Did she teach you a lot about the sport?
Quite a bit, but it was just kind of instilled in our families too. I used to go and watch her a lot when she played high school ball, and then when she was on the Redheads for a couple of years before I got to play on the Redheads itself. So I kind of learned a lot from her.
Yes. So as far as now, did everybody have to be? Did you guys wear wigs?
No.
No.
No. So everybody had to have red hair.
One way or another.
One way or another.
Wow, that's amazing. And did anybody ever dye their hair just so that it could be red?
Only our hairdresser knows for sure.
Only the hairdresser knows for sure. That's great. So how were you recruited, or how did you grow to become a part of it?
Well, I was playing softball down in Louisiana, and this other ex-redhead was down there playing softball on another team, and she came up to me after the game and asked me if I liked basketball, because she could tell I was, I guess, a pretty decent athlete. So I told her, yeah, basketball was my main sport. So she got me in contact with the owner, Orwell Moore, and I went down to Camp Courage for a tryout, and 2 days later I signed.
Wow, that's great. So this was a paid position then, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we got paid. Not a lot back in, but we got to see a lot of the country and the love of basketball.
Oh, yeah. So what are some of the places where you got to go?
Well, we got to go to a lot of different places. I mean, from one East Coast to the West Coast. We played down in Canada. I mean, up in Canada and down in Mexico. And my sister got to travel around in Alaska and play up there. And just anytime we had time, we would try to do sightseeing. I mean, like Disneyland, to Walt Disney World, Niagara Falls, to, just any place that we had time, we'd try to go to.
That's great. Well, we've also have on our social sites, your allamericanredheads.com, where people can go to vote. So let me just type this in up right now.
Great.
And when's the deadline for that?
I'm not sure when they'll really take it off, but I'm assuming they'll announce it April the 2nd, and I think they probably vote on it before that. So before that, so I'm not sure when they'll actually take it off the ESPN poll. But
gotcha.
keep voting until it goes off, I guess.
Yeah, that site is really neat. It's neat to look at all of those pictures.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to look at on there too.
Yeah. So what was your most favorite part about traveling? Did it ever tire of being on the road? And how old were you when you first started doing this? I mean, did you have a family yet, or were you married yet?
No, I was 20 when I started, and KK was 18.
Out of high school.
And
oh, wow.
I never got tired of it. 3 years, it was 3 years of experience that I would never change for anything.
Now, KK, and is that how you would like us to refer to you, KK?
Yes, and that's what my sister calls me all the time. So
sounds good. So you were just out of high school. What was that like?
Well, coming from this real small town of Cairo, it was quite an experience. But I did have the experience of watching Brenda and going to her games and seeing how the Redheads, played and what kind of entertainment they was. And so I did have, that really helped me a lot, but it still came from a small town. And I was kind of the only rookie on, well, there's one other rookie on the team, so 5 others, had already played before. But they took me under their wings, and especially our coach Charlotte Adams, she coached me that first year. And she was kind of like a den mother, I guess you'd say to me. I mean, she was always making sure, we did the right things and learned how to play basketball.
Now, as far as, here's some others who are joining us now. This is Monica. Hi, Monica.
Hi, Monica.
Hello.
Hey, these are the All-American Redheads. I'll let them introduce themselves to you, but tell them where you're from and a little bit about yourself.
Me or them?
You, Monica.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Hi, I live in Boulder, Colorado,
Right.
and it's really beautiful today. Just went out to the pharmacy, got to see the mountains, loved it. I enjoy writing and reading, and sorry, that's my dog in the background playing with the squeaky toy. You can see her.
This is Joe. Joe, you want to introduce yourself? These are the All-American Redheads.
Hello, All-American Redheads. I'm an All-American blonde named Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Although there's not a whole lot left there to tell.
Do you guys, can you tell Monica and Joe, who might not be familiar with your group, why you're famous and your effort that message you're trying to get out?
Well, we played on a professional women's basketball team called the All-American Redheads. We got to travel all over the United States. We played for just 7 months, or 7 nights a week for about 7 months, averaging about 200 games a season. So, we got to play a lot of basketball, see a lot of the country, and it was just an experience that was awesome.
That's very, very cool. I love women in sports.
Right.
There's a link to their site. You got to check out the YouTube video that they have on there. How many, and they're not currently, there isn't a team. Is there any thought about resurrecting an All-American Redheads team?
They had thought about it back, I know several years ago they thought about it. But, there's a lot of college teams nowadays. There's a lot more opportunities out there for the kids to go on and play in college, and it's just hard, I think.
And now they got the WNBA, so most of the good, players going to play for that.
Yeah, so this was essentially a precursor to the WNBA.
Yes, very much.
Definitely,
so.
that's what all of the.
What time period are we talking? Like, when were you most active?
Well, the team was organized in 1936, and the last year that we had a team on the road was in 1986. So that's 50 years that the team was on the, we had on the road. Some years we had 3 teams that traveled, like one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast, and one up and down through the middle. But especially during our area when we played during the 1970s and all, we had 3 teams that traveled that year.
Very cool.
So what's the age range of the players?
Say anywhere from 18 up to, well, some of them played like 12, 15 years, so I'd say up in the 30s.
Cool!
Hey, cool, hi there.
This is another All-American blonde.
You play sports?
I'm telling her, though.
You like to play sports? Cool.
What types of sports do you like?
I like gymnastics.
Gymnastics. I like
That's
all
fun.
gymnastics.
And swimming.
Well, I'll have you know, I played basketball in high school, but I was on the B team, meaning I wasn't very good, and I don't even think I scored a point. And after a couple years of that, I just was on it because my friends were on it. So they asked me to be water girl manager. So I was water girl manager after a couple years. So.
Well, I always got put on the team because I was tall, and I am tall. I'm 5'11". So
Really?
unfortunately,
Wow.
I'm very uncoordinated. So I was like you, Sarah. I could not score a point to save my life.
Yeah.
Didn't bring much
social,
value.
right?
Yeah,
No,
it was social.
It was all social.
Yeah.
My parents would always say, Sarah, you looked great in that uniform, meaning we know you didn't get to play, but you looked great in that uniform.
Yeah.
Well, we played against men's teams only and won about 80% of the game.
Oh, rock on.
That'd be great.
Good job.
And that was our goal, but in the early days we wanted to show that women could play basketball. We got to play,
Yeah.
play men's rules and we had a lot of games, about 200 games a season.
one.
Wow,
Yeah, it's really
200
important.
Susan, that's incredible. And why redheads? Why did they choose redheads? What
Well,
was it?
it got started like back in 1936 when it first got started. There was a man named C.M. Ole Olson that had a team called the Olson Sturgill Swedes, a men's team, and it was kind of having trouble getting some teams to play. So his wife owned a beauty shop, and kind of to promote their beauty shop too, they decided to go and play and get a team together and play against some of the men's teams. And so the man that had the C.M. Ole Olson decided to put the women's team, then put them out on the road and travel all over the United States that way.
I'll be darned. Huh. So to think, if you guys had any other color hair, you wouldn't have been chosen. Although what stays with the beauty salon, right?
There's usually beauty salon.
Yeah.
Hairdresser.
Yeah. That's great. Pretty cool. Well, we're about 5 minutes from the top of the show, so you'll have people joining in, and they'll come and go and ask you questions, and then at the top of the show we'll mention that you're going to be on, and then we'll come back to you in the middle of it and bring you out here to actually. They're going to come in our studio, Joe and Monica, and show us some tricks. Earlier, she was trying to show me how to balance on my finger. I don't think I did a very good job, though. So what's the secret there to do that?
Just keep your finger stiff like that and straight up.
Yeah.
All in that wrist action, getting that spin on the ball. That's why we spin it, is this way, but to go out that way. He's better. Got the advantage there.
I could never do that.
Yeah, I have no coordination whatsoever.
So when are we going to see the All-American Globetrotters? Redhead Globetrotters.
That's always considered the female version a little bit at times, but our main goal was to show that women could play ball, and we did do a special halftime show where we did a lot of, spinning routines, juggling routines, trick shots,
That's when the
a
men.
lot of different.
That's when the men got to rest, and we had to go out and
We put on
a show.
to entertain the people. I mean, that was what it was all about too. Is to show that we could play ball, but be entertaining too.
But you were competitive. You were competitive in that you beat men's teams.
Oh yes, Redheads wanted to win, but
That's, I think the main thing was to show that we could play, and we wanted the guys to play because, nobody wants to go and watch a game where, the guys are not playing. We'd rather play against the guys that knew how to play ball because it was better, it was better all the way around to go out and see a good, well-played game instead of just, if the guys wasn't playing or we played against guys that didn't know how to play ball, that's when we'd really get hurt more. So they just didn't know how to play and they'd run over you maybe.
Now, of course, I'm wondering if you had anybody, a coach running around yelling at you, going, when somebody get hurt, going, "There's no crying in basketball."
Yeah, we had that a few times. The players, we never faked things like that. I mean, that was something we didn't fake. Like we're hurt and things.
Yeah, ladies are tough.
I just want to show that we play.
There's some women's soccer teams here in Boulder, and they are tough.
I can say I played 644 games and never missed a game.
Wow.
It's dedication to your sport.
As I say, I think the only thing I've done 644 times without fail is breathe.
So what kind of criticism did you guys get, Brenda and Kay? Did you get anybody who said, ladies can't play basketball or anything like that back in the 70s?
Maybe a few, some, but overall when we played, especially on younger, back in the 30s and all, I could imagine it was probably a little bit different back then. But during our era, it seemed like most of the time we was real receptive, most of the crowds. You get a few maybe rude that might yell some things at you, kind of. But overall, I'd say I just loved especially interacting with the kids.
But once they saw us on the court, they knew that women could play basketball.
Go ahead and ask.
Hi.
How old are you?
Haley, say hi back to her.
She wants to know what her name is.
Tell her your name.
My name's Kayla. Hi, Kayla.
How old are you? What's your name?
Courtney.
Courtney. How
So
old are you?
Kayla or Courtney, do either of you play sports?
You can go. I play basketball.
You're going to play some softball this summer, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm not really into anything right now. I have to wait for them to do it.
Her dad is 6'7",
Oh my.
and he played pro basketball overseas in France.
Hi.
And my
Wow.
daughter here played D1 basketball.
You guys have to go in a few minutes, okay?
Down southeast.
Hi. Hi. Yeah, these are the two. I play
Those
sports.
your younger brothers?
You play sports?
6 tornadoes.
My wife and I have 3 children.
There's no hangout after the
3
open.
children, we do not want 4.
I want a sister so bad.
You can adopt Kayla, how about that?
Yay!
You got a sister, Kayla?
All right.
And so in the first couple minutes, guys, we'll chat with you, Brenda and Kay, a little bit about it. And if you guys in the Hangout have a question for me, feel free to fire it off when we're talking, if you'd like. Great. Here is Adner and Shane. Okay.
I play basketball.
Great.
Good.
That's a good
Good, yeah.
thing. Start young.
I always say,
Got it.
all that
Even when I
basketball.
was in a group of people, I made a basket.
Great job.
I used
Good
to-
for you.
Hi, Shane. Good to see
Hi.
you.
Hi, Sarah. How are
Hello,
you?
Shane.
I'm doing well. You want to your microphone is really overmodulated. It's really high. Can you talk for us a little bit?
I'm,
I can.
Oh, it's now I hear you. Now I hear you. Okay. For some
Are you
reason I
talking to me,
wasn't
Sarah?
hearing you.
Yep.
Yeah, I hear you now. I'm pretty sure,
Okay.
right? Do you have a question? These are the All-American Redheads. I just wanted to introduce you. Shane, you want to introduce yourself to these ladies?
I'm not hearing. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. No worries. We'll start the news here a little bit, and we'll do some stories, and then we'll come to you, Brenda and Kay, in about 3 minutes.
All right.
Okay.
15.
Okay? Just keep me posted.
10 seconds.
Okay.
Do you guys play baseball?
We
Played
played
a lot of
softball.
softball together.
I was the pitcher and she was the
Gotcha.
catcher.
I play
Goodbye.
baseball.
Good. That's a good summer sport, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Ahead on new news, Columbia youth shot last night in a park. We have new information on the suspect. We're live from Governor Nixon's news conference on a possible cut to services for the blind. They were trailblazers in a sport of women's basketball, and today they will give us a live studio demonstration. Looking forward to that. And later we'll have our YouTube's local music mix with music from Bachman. And in today's video virus, it's not your ordinary race involving trikes. Check out this video of racers. Hop on board and take a ride with us.
And once again today, some very pleasantly warm temperatures and sunshine as we get up to around that 80-degree mark. Forecast coming up.
Hi, Shane.
Breaking news to report to you this morning, an arrest from last night's shooting at Douglas Park, which left one 17-year-old in the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Columbia police arrested 19-year-old Anthony T. Graves at 1003 Jefferson Street about 11:50 p.m. last night. Columbia Police and University Hospital do not have an update on the victim's condition. A witness said the shooting occurred over a dispute between Graves and a friend of the victim. Dave?
Sarah, weather-wise, we are looking really good in mid-Missouri again today. We're going to look for a high this afternoon, pretty close to 78 degrees. Then, as you see, we're going to be getting down to about 58 degrees for the nighttime low tonight with partly cloudy sky. That'll be your morning time low. And then tomorrow, we should easily bump 80 degrees again with a partly cloudy sky. Now, there is a chance for some rain in that forecast as well. I don't expect that's going to be starting, though, until tomorrow night at the earliest, with the chance of precipitation will follow through on Thursday and again on Friday. And that's the weather, Sarah.
Dave, thanks a lot. Do not be alarmed if you hear a tornado siren going off today, later this afternoon. The annual statewide tornado drill is part of Severe Weather Awareness Week. Sirens will sound about 1:30 this afternoon. Residents should use the drill as an opportunity to review their disaster plans. Happy Tales Animal Sanctuary, a nonprofit no-kill animal sanctuary, is closing its doors. Over the next several months, the board of directors will work to dissolve the nonprofit organization. Happy Tales will not accept any more animals into the program, and it will be focusing on placing the remaining animals as well. One owner says it's not because of a money issue, but after 16 years, he is burned out and overwhelmed. Third Ward residents of Columbia have a chance to voice their opinions on street improvements tonight at a town hall meeting. It starts at 5:30 at Blue Ridge Elementary School. That meeting is designed to get input from citizens so the city can make the maximum amount of street improvements possible. There will be meetings for residents in other wards. That's coming up later this month in Columbia. A meeting going on right now in Jefferson City is asking residents to speak out about proposed changes to the city's public transit system. The proposed changes would affect 4 Jefferson City routes. Jeff Tran says it wants to get rid of the south route completely due to low ridership, but the other changes include extending the Southwest and Business 50 East routes to include more stops. Even though it has been debated on the state capitol floor a lot of times, a texting while driving ban has still not been passed in Missouri. KOMUH Jamal Andres is at the social media desk to tell us how you feel about this law possibly coming to our state. Jamal? So do we have Cody back?
Not yet.
Okay. And do we have Sophia back? Okay. I'll go to the Hangout then, right?
Yes, hang out.
Okay. Stand by. And it's Kester, right, Brenda?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Can you guys count to 10 for me?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Is that fast?
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds good. We're coming to you next. All right, sounds good. Thanks a lot. Hey, check out these lovely ladies in our Google Plus Hangout today. This is Kay O'Brienberg and Brenda O'Brien Kester from Cairo, Missouri. Which one of you guys is from Cairo?
Both of
Both
us.
of us.
Both of them. And they are with the All-American Redheads. Tell people at home a little bit about your group. And, you know, you all, hats off to you for pioneering the sport of women's basketball. You played back in the 70s, correct?
That's right. Played in the 70s, but we played on the women's professional team that was organized in 1936. And the last year we had a team on the road was in 1986.
Yeah, so for people who aren't familiar, tell them why the red hair and why you all are now trying to get into the Basketball Hall of Fame.
The red hair kind of came about back in 1936. The one that had the Olsen's Terrible Swedes decided his wife wanted to beauty shops and all, so he decided to put a team out there to play also. And so then they just a couple of them happened to be redheaded, so they just decided to all of them to dye their hair red, and it just took off from there. The guy that had the Olsen Terrible Swedes decided to take over the women's team and put them out on the road and start traveling all over the United States playing games against men.
You all have had an amazing career. This was a professional team even before the WNBA existed. Talk a little bit about how many games that you played.
Well, we played about 200 games a season. And
we played, like I said, 7 nights for 7 months, and we traveled about 300-400 miles a day. So, you think that in consideration that, traveling like we did, and our uniforms, we usually washed them out in the sink, and then you'd put them in after you took a shower, and then you'd put them in your towel, and you'd roll them up in your towel and step on them and stuff, try to get the water out. So hopefully they'd be dry the next morning. If not, by the time you'd hang them up in the car, and they'd be dry the next night when we played again.
That was great. And you guys are sisters, and tell about the effort in order to get you all included into the Basketball Hall of Fame. We have a website here, and you're asking people to vote for that?
That's right. We're finalists in the Naismith Hall of Fame along with Reggie Miller and like Don Nelson and Rick Pitino. And the Redheads, especially the old timers and all, I think it was a great honor to be able to play for them. And Mr. Orwell Moore, he put the teams out there year after year for that many years, from 54, when he took over the organization in 54, and put the teams out there to like 1986. That's a long time. You think back then we didn't have computers, you didn't have cell phones. And for him to do that and had the teams traveling all over the United States, and we had 3 teams like the years we played. So it was, and to get into the Naismith Hall of Fame, it would just be a great honor. We have got a big exhibit down at the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame in Knoxville, Tennessee. It's got a big 15-passenger limousine car down there, and a lot of artifacts. Sister's got her jerseys up on the wall. I've got like a team picture at the end of the car, up by the car there. So it's just be a great honor to be able to also get into the Naismith Hall of Fame, because that's the big one up in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Well, that is great. We're going to let our Google Plus Hangouts ask some questions during the commercial break, unless you guys have any questions for them now, but we can do that during the commercial as well. And we were going to see a live demonstration with you guys coming up in our studio in just a few minutes. So sit tight, and we'll see you in a few minutes, and we're looking forward to that.
All right, great.
All right, sounds good. Thanks a lot. Be back.
Any other questions? Okay, Courtney.
That was great.
I couldn't talk.
Oh, that's hard for you, huh? Is that hard?
I'm a chatterbox so badly.
This one's quiet.
I might have lost battery on my iPhone. I'll be back in just a second.
Well, I think that just the fact you guys played like you did, you should be in the Hall of Fame. In fact, you should be your own Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much.
Yes, I believe so too, and it's Women's History Month, and I'm so glad to see a hangout like this taking place, because we have to talk about women in sports and women in history. And you guys, your story is very, very powerful.
But I will be back shortly.
Okay.
All right, and I'll be sure to give you a heads up when you're headed this way.
All right.
Sounds good? All right. It sounded great, by the way.
Thanks.
So what are you going to be demoing for us?
Oh, say what? Sorry.
Well, what are you guys going to be demoing?
Some basketball skills.
We still do some double dribbling, some dribbling routines,
Juggling.
Not for sure how much we can get done out there. Depends on the studio. And
Well, when you're done with all that coordination and skill, can you send some over this way?
just keep working on it. Just do a lot of little things. Just anything. I had a little girl that I used to coach, and we'd just do a lot of things with the little ball, just working on the skills, just getting the ball in your hands. Any kind of ball, little ones up to the big basketball. Just work on just different things.
I know you can always tell them, like I did my kids, they don't have to play sports if they didn't want to. But I didn't know who they was going to live with if they didn't. I got a daughter over here. She's
got a daughter. She won't want to come in.
Yeah, in my house, that's we don't make sports a requirement. We make being a Yankee fan a requirement.
Yankee fan?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, we're Cardinal fans.
That's all
I'm
right.
a Cardinal fan. I lived in St. Louis for a while.
Good.
We played against the Kansas City Chiefs back when my team did. They had a basketball team during the off season. In fact, with Buck Buchanan, Mike Livingston, Bobby Bell, and them played. It was they did beat us by 3 points. We could have stopped big old Buck.
Whoa, Buck, whoa, Buck.
Uh-huh.
I could play the Denver Broncos, so that was fun. I don't remember a lot of their names.
Okay.
Where are you guys?
What?
Where
Are you?
are we? Right now we're in Columbia, Missouri.
Oh.
Same city.
KOMU TV station.
Are you guys gonna play a game in Florida sometime?
The team left in 1986, so we're a little old to run up down the floor. We do it in slow motion. We did go up to
Portland,
3 years
Oregon?
ago and went up to Portland, Oregon, and played against the alumni of the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah.
So
Jerome
that-
Kersey, Michael Harper, Del Ermhoff. Well, I know was some of the ones there. That was fun. We had a blast out there too.
That must have been.
We have a good another one that's John Molina that does a lot of stuff with the Redheads, and he put the big exhibit on out at the Big East tournament that we got to go to, and all just about a couple of weekends ago, and we went out there, and he had like 1,000 artifacts there, and all. So
And
he's
him and
great.
John Molina and Mike Zeising, they're right now writing a book on the Our American Redheads. They should be out for a signing in this time next year during the Final Four.
Nice.
Hopefully, who knows? Maybe a
Maybe a
movie
movie.
someday.
I'm going to be right back, real quick.
All right.
Now,
We're still here.
She wants to show you her trophy.
Good. Trophy in gymnastics.
This chair, right?
I'm not sure which one she's pulling out, to be honest.
There you go.
Oh, both. Oh, okay.
I'm not getting my third one.
Wow, that's a nice trophy.
Here's my acting.
Wow.
That's
I got it in preschool.
preschool.
Yeah, they were doing 3 little pigs, and I was the mama pig.
She does a lot more acting now, I can tell you that.
I see you in a movie someday.
Which,
Yeah.
really, I have school today, but, like, I don't, my brother has, like, a bad rash, so.
You'll notice that says drama.
Drama.
My
Yes.
nickname is Drama Queen.
She's had an award for drama.
Stars of the new movie The Hunger Games Walk the Red Carpet has more than 400 fans waiting to see the first installment of the new franchise. The movie stars Jennifer Lawrence, Josh Hutcherson, and Liam Hemsworth.
Baseball
They
trophy.
take teams fighting for survival in a government-controlled world.
There you go.
French President Nicolas Sarkozy got a boost from a French actor over the weekend. Gerard Depardieu spoke on behalf of Sarkozy at a huge political rally in a Parisian suburb. Sarkozy is battling for a second term and is running behind in the polls. One analyst said Sarkozy is behind because of the stale French economy. And thousands of X Factor hopefuls lined up outside Kemper Arena in Kansas City yesterday, hoping for a shot at stardom. Many tuned up their voices as they waited for a chance to sing for Simon Cowell and the other season 2 judges. They were each given a wristband, which is their ticket to the audition tomorrow. The winner of the X Factor walks away with a $5 million prize.
In the studio.
And that's it for your red carpet report.
All right, sounds good. In our hangout, we have Joe hanging with his kid here today. When you were a kid, I bet it was really cool, right, to go coasting downhill with your bike on your friends. I'm sure it was. We also have a video to show you that even adults can do it and have a little fun riding bikes. We had you up on TV.
Yeah. I saw it.
We've got the well, you've actually got it here.
Do you see this video of these adults riding these bikes?
Yeah.
Sir, you're guessing to wear it. There, William.
Okay. Do you guys want to come on out then, Brenda and Kay? We're ready for you if you want to come out.
See, they're actually.
This out of the way, sir.
Yeah.
And do you need this for the second one?
But let's turn it so that the hangout can see these ladies. We'll turn it so you guys can see. Yeah, that's good right there. Yeah. So as I mentioned, I was on the B team. B team unite, right, Monica?
B Team Unite.
My mommy's here.
I was only on the team in middle school because in high school I unfortunately was not well enough to play, but I did enjoy my time playing and would love to play again.
What did you say?
Are they on their way?
Yes. I think they are.
So Joe, where in Florida are you?
We're in Tampa.
Tampa, okay.
Yep.
So are there opportunities there for your daughter to get involved in sports?
Oh yeah, absolutely. She was in. They have a community little league that she was in, fact, they have
Great.
community little leagues around here. Yeah, they have. They have football.
The YMCA.
There's a lot, and not even just in her schools. You know, there's a lot of stuff in the community. So, the boys played baseball. Not last year, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
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 Very cool.
I hear you.
6.
Yep. I hear you.
3 years? Yeah, 3 years.
And I watch sports on TV, so I can.
Brenda O'Brien Coster and Kate O'Brien Burke.
Oh, that's a dance.
I know dancing is a kind of a sport, like dancing.
Dancing is definitely a sport.
Brenda is
It's very physical.
Yeah, we have a
Brenda
dance.
is the tall one.
Improves your coordination. I couldn't do it to save my life when I was a kid.
I still can't do it, so I'm
Can you
just.
guys see?
Hold on, 3 minutes.
We can see.
Mm-hmm.
5 seconds.
Okay. You guys can come up on either side of me. Okay. And do you guys have the song?
Yeah, what?
I have that. That is great. That is a clip from these guys. They are the All-American Redheads from the early 70s and later, I guess, ended in 1986. So they played on the All-American Redheads, and they were in existence for a very long time. And you guys were
50 years.
50 years were a precursor to the women's professional basketball team. And we were honored to have you all in the studio today, trailblazers in the field of the women's sports. And you're also trying to get the word out that you want to be inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame.
In Nashville, Springfield, Tennessee. Springfield, Massachusetts.
Yeah, and so if you go to allamericanredheads.com, you can vote for that very fact. And you're going to show us some things today. I was on the B basketball team in Canton, Missouri, so let me tell you, I'm not going to be very much help. Maybe I should step aside and let you guys show us your skills, but you still got it, ladies. You mind me asking how old you are now?
I'm 62.
You are 62, and you are still able to school your granddaughter on the basketball court, I bet.
Yes.
Yeah, I bet she is. And how about you introduce yourself? And you guys are sisters, by the way.
That's right. She's a little bit older than me. Kate O'Brien Burke, and I live in Fort Madison, Iowa now, and I've coached up there about 17 years.
Very, very good. So what was one of the most difficult things back then, being a woman and playing a women's sport that people weren't totally used to women being out there playing sports?
No. I mean, it was a great honor to get out on the court. I mean, I just love basketball. I always loved sports.
I mean, just to get out there every night playing against men and show them that women could play basketball. That was our main thing. The show came on after that. So it's just showing the men that we could play, and the crowd and everybody back in that era, when they thought women were not supposed to play because they thought it would hurt our internal organs and everything like that.
Certainly won't hurt your internal organs. Show us a little bit of how do you do it there?
That's knee dribble. No hands, Mom. Look at the quick hand. Look at the quick hand. Oh, look at those quick hands.
Your turn, Brenda.
Okay.
Send that ball, Brenda.
Try it
A
again.
little flick. Behind, pull down. Hey, Brenda.
Yes.
How about under your arm? Good job. How about pistol Pete?
Pistol Pete.
Pistol Pete. That's going under your leg and keep it spinning.
Hey, very good, Brenda and Kay. That is awesome. You guys still have it. Let me tell you, I so appreciate you joining us today. And I would encourage everybody to go to allamericanredheads.com. Look for ladies like these who deserve to be in the women's or in the Basketball Hall of Fame with the All-American Redheads. So thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, sir. I'm going to spend it on
Okay, all right, here we go. All right, before we go to our video virus. Can I do it? We'll see. We have a curious dog in our video virus and much more, so take a look at this defensive cat as well. Here's Caleb H. Jamal Ambrose. Yeah. Unless you want to drop it. Do you want to drop it?
We didn't get off.
Yeah. And you want to come over this way?
We're going to be back in?
I'll call you in here in a little bit.
Who's juggling the basketball? Unbelievable.
Okay. I don't know that I have time to pull it up.
Sarah.
Okay. Or if you, whatever.
You can hear us in one ear, and she can hear the producer in the other ear. So right now when she's talking to her producer. The producer's saying stuff, and then she's replying to him. So she's not talking to us right now. She's trying to get stuff set up for the next part of the newscast.
Oh, we're in the right now.
Nope.
It's in her computer.
Oh, on her computer, yes. Uh-huh. So she can see us, and she can hear us. Right now she's paying attention to what she's doing.
I can get it, Jen.
And it's really funny because
Okay.
you'll say something to Sarah, and like 20 seconds later when she's done with what she's doing, she'll reply to you, and you'll go, how are you paying attention to us and your producer and doing all this stuff at the same time? That's one of the amazing things about Sarah. If you want to be...
Hey, sorry, Jen. With timeline, I'm not able to get it up very quick. Oh, no.
This is just one of your scanners.
Okay, sounds good. Yes. Got it. Gotcha. Okay.
I don't know. I get they may be
Good
leaving.
to see you, Adner.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Remind me where you're from again?
Oregon, Salem, Oregon.
That's right. That's right. So we had the All-American Redheads on today. They were a group of ladies who are so talented, and they're trying to get into the
Your head's red
Basketball
too.
Hall of Fame. So if you go to allamericanredheads.com, you can vote in order to get them in there. I like your curtains, by the way. Those are awesome.
Yeah. They're fancy.
Yeah, I was saying Adner's curtains. Those are beautiful.
Yeah, thanks.
We're almost till the end of our show. We've got a couple more minutes left.
So are the Redheads coming back on, or have they
They
left?
are. We'll bring them back on here once we wrap up as well. So in about 2 minutes.
That demonstration was just absolutely ridiculous.
I know.
Man, I don't have that much talent.
Okay.
That was unbelievable talent. I can't believe
Okay.
they said. I think they're on.
They haven't told me, but they're moving a lot of stuff around right now.
So you don't have school today then?
Ooh.
Well, her youngest brother is on spring break. The middle number 2 is sick.
Same as always.
So we said, well, why make her
Stand by.
have a little family day together?
Yeah. Plus I had a little spot on
And
my back.
we have a daddy-daughter dance tonight, so we'll give her extra time to get ready.
An arrest from last night's shooting at Douglas Park, which left one 17-year-old with an updated condition that we're going to hear now from KONU8, Sophia Petninakis in Columbia. Again, the victim in that case did pass away in last night's Douglas Park shooting. We have the latest information on our website right now about the arrest of Anthony T. Graves. Governor Nixon is traveling to Columbia to raise public awareness about new legislation. That legislation would eliminate a $30 million program that covers medical coverage for the blind. KOMUH's Cody LeGros joins us now live at that rally where Governor Nixon is about to speak. Cody, what does the blind community think about this?
Dave, you're next. We're just going to roll everything out. Sarah, if you're going to bring them back in. They dropped 5, so it's Dave next.
No respect, Abner. We just got
Bad stare.
The weather's looking really good again today, Missouri. Just like yesterday, we'll probably top out at about 78, 80 degrees.
That's
More
fine.
tomorrow, a bit more breezy tomorrow. Then tomorrow night, Friday and into Saturday, there's a possibility of hitting some showers and some thunderstorms.
All right, sounds good. I want to say thanks to everyone who joined us in our Google Plus Hangout today. We appreciate you being there on the Cyber Couch with us. Also, thanks to the All-American Redheads who are going to close us out for the show today. Good luck to you on getting in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Too much
Before we
noise.
go, we have music from Bachman. This is Neighbor. Access Hollywood is next. Here's to you.
Scratching your head as you were on like
And this is you guys right there.
TV box. Look at it. I want to do whatever it was you were doing.
Sorry.
Oh, my TV.
Come on over this way. And you can hear what they have to say in here. Guys, do you have any other questions for our Brenda and Kay before we go?
I do.
You do? Okay, hold on just a second. I'm going to hand the earbud to her. This is Kay.
How did you do that?
I don't believe you're as old as you say you are, Kay. I'm sorry. That was incredible.
Well, thank you. Yeah, just lots and lots of practice. And, you know, being good sisters, we do a lot of things together. I mean, we go around our, family reunions, some schools, and do some of it there. So we do keep practice up a little bit on it.
Can the little one do that?
Oh, she's starting to learn a lot more. She can
Okay, you
learn
got
to dribble and knee dribble, and she can do a crazy 8 dribble.
Neat dribble.
And she's pretty good.
I think I didn't go awesome.
Any other questions?
You can let us know when you get in the Hall of Fame?
Well, just keep an eye out. April 2nd, they'll announce it. That about the final 4 is when they'll announce that, and then we'll get inducted. If we make it, then the induction ceremony will be in September.
That's good,
Awesome.
that's when I have my spring break.
Okay, you too?
Me and my brother.
Guys, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it. It's good to see you guys.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Bye, Sarah.
Absolutely. Enjoy your father-daughter dance. And Adner, it's always good to see you as well.
Bye.
Yeah,
Have a good day.
So look us up on Facebook.
All right, you can look them up on Facebook as well.
if you don't see me tomorrow, I may have had a fatal dancing accident.
I
So.
hope you didn't have a fatal dancing accident. That would not be good.
I'll show you the dress tomorrow, maybe.
I want to see the dress, and I hope that he breaks a leg. That's good.
I'll show some. Ask my dad to show him. I'll show you some pictures tomorrow.
Oh, sounds good. That sounds great.
Yeah,
All right, good luck. Break a leg.
Bye.
Bye.
That's right. Thank you.
Okay, it's Anita today.
There it is.
Beautiful day out there.
What time is it?